You know, every restaurant is a buffet if you want to pay, especially here in Las Vegas, the all-you-can-eat capital of the world. Hello friends, it's me, Shin, and I'm on a quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. I'm 196 in, and this week for number 197, I'm coming to you from downtown here at the Plaza Hotel where I'm checking out Oscar Steakhouse. Really happy to have you along. I'll see you inside. All right, everyone, and here I am seated at Oscar Steakhouse at the Plaza, Las Vegas. Now, Oscar Steakhouse is named after Oscar Goodman. Not only was he a lawyer to known mobsters, but he was also the mayor of Las Vegas. Oscar Steakhouse has been one of the long-standing steakhouses here in downtown and known to be one of the best. It was recently renovated, it's absolutely stunning in here, and they have a beautiful atrium-like structure that's situated on top of the carousel bar. Plenty of natural light right across the way from the Fremont Street experience. There's also a beautiful patio, although it's currently 107 degrees, so I'm not going to be going out there. It's a beautiful restaurant, it has wonderful vibes, a great place. Now, regardless of the vibes, you know it's all about the food for me, so let's take a look at what they have to eat on the menu. Okie dokie, so here is your menu at Oscar Steakhouse. It's actually quite beautiful, leather bound, as well as, what is this? It's actually metal. This is so impressive. Very nice menu. Let's go ahead and crack it open. All right, so we've got an entire story here. I'm not going to read you the Lord of the Rings or anything, but if you want to go and take a pause in the video, you can take a look at whatever that says. I'm going to read it afterwards. Here are your cocktails, all $18. And a couple of additional cocktails here, zero-proof cocktails, non-alcoholic beers, $8 there. And then you have beer and local beer down here. Looks like somewhere between $7 to $14. And that's your drink menu. Let's take a look at the food. That's what I'm more interested in. We have some ice-cold shellfish platters and crab cocktail, lobster cocktail, all looking good. Here's some salads, Caesar, an heirloom beet salad, a chopped salad, and a wedge. Here are the appetizers. Okay, all looking really good. A pork belly sounds nice. Short rib ravioli sounds nice. All looking really good here. And then here is your list of entrees. Branzino, lamb chop, short rib rossini, scallops. I haven't had scallops in a while. They have a burger. You know, I'm always a sucker for a burger at a steakhouse. We might have to give that a shot. And then here are your steaks and chops. Looks like you've got, they have prime rib here? We might be going in on some beef today, folks. And here are your sauces and sides. Yep, looking very good. Is that the whole menu? Yeah, that's the menu. There you go, Oscar Steakhouse. A very nice looking menu here at Oscar Steakhouse. Plenty I'm looking forward to trying today. You know how it goes in my videos. Every restaurant is a buffet if you're willing to pay. I'm gonna get a nice variety, and together we're gonna see how Oscar Steakhouse is all about. Appetizers are coming up first. I'll see you a little bit when they arrive. And welcome back, everyone. Now the appetizers just got here. This is looking really good. Let me give you a video. I got their meatballs as well as the pork belly, their calamari, the short rib ravioli, some crab cakes. Oh, and we're actually getting bread service here too. I guess I just ordered too fast. All this looking really tasty. Let's give them a try. First off tonight is going to be the short rib ravioli. Good looking ravioli here. I think this is something like a balsamic drizzle on the outside. I guess we'll find out. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that is good. Really enjoyable ravioli appetizer here at Oscar's. I'm quite happy with this dish. This pasta is obviously fresh and made in-house. While it's definitely past al dente, it still has an elasticity about it that tells me that it's still freshly made, and it's not completely turning to mush, but it's still keeping all the contents inside. The ravioli is doing fine. I'm very much enjoying the short rib filling. It's really well seasoned. It has a great taste. You can tell that it's been stewed for hours, although it has a bit more of a grainy texture than a tender one. A nice salinity coming from some pecorino cheese. And the bordelaise sauce here provides a nice deep flavor, a little bit of that dry red wine coming through. All this is actually quite nice. I'm enjoying that ravioli, that's a good one. Next up, the crab cake. I always like getting crab cakes at steakhouses. It just feels right. It just feels like a steakhouse dish. We'll see how Oscar's is tonight. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, not bad. I'd say this is a pretty decent crab cake, although certainly not one of the best that I've had in the Las Vegas Steakhouse. Let's start with the good. Really enjoying the crust that they've developed on top of this crab cake. Just a slight crisp to that, adding some texture to the overall bite. Really a marvelous cook on it. The crab is definitely prominent in this crab cake. You can certainly get that sweet flavor.
and it is well balanced against the sweetness of some red peppers. Those peppers have been cooked down properly, giving a little bit of a caramelized sweetness. That is nice. Overall, the dish is well seasoned. I like that. And so ultimately, it just comes down to one detractor, and that being that I do think there's quite a bit of breading and filler in here. Not to say that it tastes bad. It does provide a slightly more dense texture than the sweet, tender crab, but given the crisp on the exterior, I don't necessarily think I need additional texture here. I think I would just appreciate a lot more crab meat. A stone ground mustard sauce is actually quite rich, a little bit of a pungent flavor there, as well as a very flavorful pesto, although I think I prefer the mustard sauce between the two.
It's not the worst crab cake, but it's certainly not the best that I've had. Next up, we'll do the meatball.
They called this the No Noses Mob meatballs, and I'm gonna need someone to explain that to me. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to mean, but it does look pretty good.
Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, I'm very happy with this meatball. All the elements are working together well. The meatball has actually been very well cooked. A good springy and bouncy texture to the meatball, which means a perfect emulsification of the binder as well as the meat element. They found a really good ratio. It's been expertly seasoned, not too salty, and you can actually taste the herbs. You absolutely get the oregano notes, as well as the freshness of the pesto that's included on top. I actually really like the tomato sauce at Oscar's. A good natural sweetness to it, although cooked down nicely to be a good savory sauce. And some additional ricotta cheese provides richness. All in all, I would say this is actually a very good package. I'm enjoying these meatballs very much.
Although I don't know what the whole nose means things, I actually really like the meatballs here. Next up, the calamari.
2 sauces for the calamari. I'm gonna dip it into the white one first.
Let's see how it is. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, perfectly fine calamari at Oscar's. I'm very happy with the preparation. A wonderful fry, a good light crispy texture, a very light airy crunch biting into these, and the batter has been very well seasoned. I do like that. The squid inside tastes great, has a nice spongy texture to it, not too chewy, certainly not overcooked. In general, that works together well. The white sauce is something like a lemon aioli, quite garlicky and rich with just a little bit of citrus. It's creamy and it works well on the calamari. Included in the calamari is also some cherry peppers that have been lightly fried, and I want to say a little bit of the spice has rubbed off onto the rest of the calamari, delivering just a very light kick. For the spice adverse, you don't have to be worried. I wouldn't exactly say this is spicy at all. I would in fact say the marinara sauce is probably more spicy than the calamari. The marinara sauce is actually quite good. I want to say it's the same marinara sauce that they had for the meatballs. A good natural sweetness, still cooked down to be savory, well seasoned. I would sell this on pasta, to be honest with you. It's very good.
A perfectly fine calamari dish. All right, everyone, now the last appetizer to try today is going to be their pork belly.
Served alongside polenta and what I'm assuming is like an apple topping. I've got all of it assembled on the fork.
Let's see how it is. Oh, that is very good.
Excellent pork belly appetizer at Oscar's. This has easily been my favorite bite of the evening so far. The pork belly has been perfectly cooked, ultra tender, the fat has been perfectly rendered, but the pork still has a meaty quality. It's smoky, it's rich. It's so satisfying chewing through this. Not only does it have a wonderful cook on it, but it has this really tasty caramelized glaze on top. It's taken on the smoky quality, but it's balanced so perfectly against the nutty sweetness of the caramelization. I love the glaze on top of this pork belly. It's working really, really well. They have a goat cheese polenta here, and it is acting as a very nice neutral base. That pork belly is so rich and so fatty, but having something a little bit more starchy like that polenta helps to bring balance to the bite, and you can taste a little bit of that mild goat cheese. It's actually melded very well. This apple fennel marmalade that's been applied on top is so good. While that smoky sweet glaze works well with the pork belly on its own, in conjunction with the polenta, the apple fennel topping provides a bit of a fruity sweetness that further enhances the overall balance. It's sweet, it's savory, it's smoky, all together satisfying. I'm finding it very hard to stop smiling as I'm biting into this.
Really enjoying that pork belly. That was so good. All right, everyone. Now, I thought that was all of the appetizers, but I forgot they brought bread out. So I'm going to go ahead and try that next. This is actually looking pretty good. A pretty good looking pull-apart bread here.
I've got some butter spread on top, and I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like I'm giving this an unfair shot, because had I been able to try this on its own when it first came out, I think it would have been a lot hotter, but it's actually quite lukewarm now.
Well, let's see how it is. Yeah, that's fine.
as a perfectly fine pull-apart bread. It actually has a little bit of a crisp to the exterior, nice Maillard reaction there, and the inside is actually still relatively fluffy given the fact that it's been able to sit out for a little bit here. The bread on its own is lightly sweet, although quite buttery as well, and you don't need to apply a lot of extra because you can actually get a fairly straightforward buttery flavor just biting into this. I do wish this was warm. I wish I got to try it when it was a little bit softer. In general, I can see this being pretty good as the starter of my meal, and hey, the price was right, at least it was included. All right, everyone, now that's all the appetizers I'm going to be trying today. I'm joined by a buddy, so we're going to continue working through this, box a lot of it to go, and then we'll do our first round of entrees. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. And welcome back, my friends. Now, our first round of entrees just got here. This is looking really good. Let me give you a view. I got their scallops as well as their branzino, their chicken dish, as well as their cheeseburger. Very interesting presentation with the cheeseburger, but I'm all about it. Let's go in. Now, the first dish to go in on are the scallops. These are easily the most time-intensive when it comes to trying out the food. Scallops have such a short window where you can actually hit perfection. So I'm hoping Oscar's was able to nail it tonight. Here are the scallops. Yeah, not bad. This is a pretty good scallop dish. The issue I was most worried about, which was the cook, was actually perfectly fine. A wonderful bouncy texture to these scallops. They're not chewy or stringy by any means. Not overcooked, not under. They actually nailed this pretty well. I'm very happy with the cook on these scallops. You can actually get a very nice, straightforward, briny flavor from these scallops as well. That's quite nice. I guess my biggest issue with the scallops, unfortunately, is that they are a bit over-seasoned. They're a tad on the salty side, which is a bit unfortunate because they absolutely nailed the cook on the scallops. There's a bit of a smoky flavor to it, that I appreciate. But I think just a shake less of that seasoning would have gone a long way here. But I'm very, very happy with the cook on these scallops. Now the scallops are served on top of a risotto, and it looks like a pea risotto. I have it on the fork and it's not running through. That's a good sign. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good. I actually really like the risotto that the scallops are on top of. Now, while the scallops are perfectly cooked, I would say that the risotto is a little bit over. The rice is a little bit softer than I would prefer on a risotto. Now, that's really the only detractor. Everything else about this risotto is actually very, very good. A very nice harmony between the crisp white wine reduction as well as a good pungent garlic taste. And it is all coming together well in a nice creamy bite. The peas provide a little bit of a nutty flavor when you do get it on your forkful. And this risotto is perfectly seasoned. I like the risotto a lot here. A very nice side for the scallops. Next up, the cheeseburger. Now, when I ordered this, I was not expecting it to come cut in fourths, but I'm always down for a little cool presentation. The real question is, how does it taste? I guess we'll find out now. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, that is good. This is why I always love trying cheeseburgers at steakhouses. For some reason, they're always really good. Starting with the brioche bun, it has a wonderful airy softness to it. Still toasted beautifully in the center with a good buttery flavor. Excellent brioche bun for the burger. The burger patties here are fantastic. Nice moist burger. It's been seasoned perfectly. A good beefy flavor. Nothing really wrong when it comes to the burger patties here. A very good American cheese. It has a good sharp flavor to it. It's actually very pronounced in the middle of the bite. It makes for an excellent accent richness in the overall burger. Very simple produce that they've gone with here. No tomato. It's a lettuce and pickle mix along with some shallow fried onions. I love the nice sour tang coming from those pickles, a nice freshness from the lettuce, and anytime I see crispy onion straws in a burger like this, I'm a happy man. Now the burger sauce is very reminiscent of a Thousand Island. However, it's just a little bit more savory, a little bit less sweet than your standard Thousand Island. Maybe just a little bit less tang as well, but in general, it's working very well here. I'm a fan of the burger. That was good. Next up, the branzino. The branzino is served inside of a cream sauce. Now I've got a nice amount on the fork. Let's give it a shot. I can't say I'm the biggest fan of this one. Now, I've had a lot of sea bass and branzino in recent months, and unfortunately, I can't say I'm a huge fan of the preparation tonight. I will start with the good. I love this lemon cream sauce. It's rich, nice and garlicky, very buttery, and it's certainly the most forward-facing flavor that you get when you bite into this fish. The cook on the fish is pretty good. A crispy skin, relatively tender fish. That's all fine. Unfortunately, I think it's quite under-seasoned. Also, the natural flavor of the sea bass is just not coming through all that well. Outside of the sauce, unfortunately, I want to say this is quite bland. I'm not getting a really big flavor profile here. The sauce is more or less all you taste. I don't really get any kind of a briny sweetness from the fish at all. This is unfortunate because I've had so many good branzinos lately. I suppose not everything could be a mega hit. This one could be better. All right, everyone, now the last bite to try from this first round of entrees is going to be the chicken. Now, this is Mary's organic chicken. Am I going crazy? I feel like I've heard Mary's chicken before. Maybe Mary is a popular lady. But let's see how the chicken is tonight. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm thoroughly impressed with this chicken because I'm not going to lie, at first glance, I thought it was going to be quite dry. As you bite into it though, looks can be deceiving because this is a very tender and moist chicken. And on top of that, it tastes great. It's been perfectly seasoned. A nice amount of salt and pepper on the skin allows you to really appreciate the natural flavors of the chicken here. But there's also a slight sweetness to the spice mix. It actually works so well on this chicken. Now it's served alongside something like a bordelaise sauce. A little bit savory, a little bit smoky, but it provides a nice accent flavor when you dip the chicken into it. I gotta be honest with you, the chicken is actually very straightforward, but somehow this is very, very satisfying. The beauty is almost in its simplicity. It's perfectly prepared, a very nice cook to this chicken. I'm enjoying this one a lot. A very good chicken dish tonight. All right, everyone, now that's all the food from this first round of entrees. My buddy and I can continue working on this box, a lot of it to go, and then we'll do our next round. We're at a steakhouse. We gotta do a steak dinner, right? That's coming up next. Don't go away, I'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone. Now my steak dinner has arrived. This is looking excellent. Let me give you a view. Now I got their bone-in ribeye cooked medium rare, as well as their prime rib, their cream corn, their Brussels sprouts, their mashed potatoes, as well as the mac and cheese. A really good looking steak dinner tonight. Let's do this. First off, the ribeye. Now my go-to steak is a ribeye, and so I usually judge my steakhouses on them. The bone-in version here at Oscar's looks nice. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is a pretty solid ribeye steak at Oscar's tonight. In general, I do like this. I asked for this mid-rare. They absolutely hit temperature. A good warm red center. And the meat is relatively tender, not chewy, not overcooked. The fat has been well rendered. I do like the preparation here. A nice crust has been formed on the outside, and they've certainly basted this in a lot of butter. There's a very tasty, rich flavor coming from the exterior of that steak. Now, the seasoning is simple but generous, and overall, I do like that. But I will say, in terms of an actual beefiness factor, this lacks a little bit of the depth that you get from a really good dry aging process. While the steak does taste good, there's just this essence of beef that's missing that you can really get when you're able to extract all that excess moisture out and concentrate those flavors. It's definitely not bad though, and it's still a pretty good steak. A solid ribeye overall. Next up, prime rib. Oh, as soon as I saw prime rib on the menu, I knew I had to try it. Cooked to a medium rare, I'm liking the look. Let's see how it tastes. Oh wow, that is really good. Excellent prime rib at Oscar's tonight. Wow, I'm very satisfied with this. Perfect cook on this prime rib. It's so tender, but not exactly disintegrating. You still have a good beefy chew to it. It's so satisfying eating this. It's been wonderfully seasoned, a good crust to that exterior, but you can really taste the essence of beef here. There's such a much more profound beefy flavor than I even had in the ribeye. The fat has been nicely rendered, and as you know, fat equals flavor. And so there's a very nice richness to this prime beef in general. The jus is also incredibly tasty. It's savory, it's tangy. It has a fair amount of influence from Worcestershire sauce. Beautiful added savory, salinity is coming from that jus. It works perfectly with this prime rib. I'm liking that so much. The creamy horseradish has a nice kick, and I love horseradish on my prime rib, so this is working well for me. I'm having such a great time with this. Excellent prime rib here tonight at Oscar's. I'm really liking this one. Time to do some sides next. First off, mashed potatoes. I had a hard time choosing tonight between mashed potatoes, baked potato, and french fries, but I think mashed potatoes is just easiest to share, and I'm with a buddy, and it sounded pretty good at the end of the day. Let's see how they taste. Yeah, not bad. These are some decent mashed potatoes, although I think on my steakhouse scale, these would rank relatively low. Starting with the texture, these are relatively smooth, although they haven't gone through that luxurious step of pushing it through a sieve, and so you're not really getting that silky mashed potato that you might expect from a lot of steakhouses on the Vegas Strip. Just a little bit more grainy than you might find at some other steakhouses. Now, personally, I don't mind, but I just wanted to make sure that that was of note. Now, oftentimes when I have mashed potatoes on the Strip, I usually find that they have an excess amount of butter, and so they become incredibly rich and almost borderline too salty. And I think, unfortunately, that's the complete opposite here. I want a little bit more seasoning. I want a little bit more butter. I wouldn't necessarily say that these potatoes are bland, but they can certainly use a little bit more amping of flavor, especially as it supports such a flavorful bite like that prime rib. Overall, not bad though. Although personally, I think I'd probably go in on a baked potato over these mashed potatoes. Next off, the mac and cheese. Haven't had shell pasta mac and cheese in a minute. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's good. This is actually a very nice mac and cheese side. Starting with the cook on the macaroni. Oftentimes when I get a baked macaroni and cheese like this, the macaroni has a high propensity to be overcooked. And while I wouldn't say this is al dente, it certainly has a bit of a firmness to it. I'm enjoying that a lot. Now, unlike the ravioli from before, I do not believe this is fresh made pasta, but honestly, it tastes good either way. Now, I really like this cheese sauce. It's creamy, it's rich, it's not too salty. Typically in a macaroni and cheese like this, especially given the additional cheese topping on top, there's a high chance for the dish to taste oversalted. Not the case here. The cheese sauce is actually quite mild. Not a super sharp cheese sauce. It's actually very, very good. I think what I like most about this mac and cheese is that it understands its role as a side and it's not trying to be a main, which is often what I can find at other steakhouses. This is actually quite good. Happy with the mac and cheese tonight. Next up, the cream corn. Interesting with the cream corn, it's served on top of what looks like a polenta, but it could end up being some kind of a corn mash. I guess we'll find out. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, this is a pretty solid corn dish. Starting with the corn itself, perfectly cooked through, fork tender. And you can actually get the natural sweetness of the corn. It hasn't been completely cooked out. In general, I do like to cook on the corn. It's served on top of a creamy polenta. I believe this is the same polenta that we saw earlier. It's just as good. A slight nuttiness to it with a very subtle sweetness. It delivers a creamy richness to the overall bite without having to drown the corn in cream. A little bit of paprika on top delivers a slight smokiness. In general, this is actually pretty good. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I actually do like this preparation. All right, everyone, now the last bite that I'm trying from this second round of entrees is going to be the Brussels sprouts. I could tell as I got this Brussels sprout onto my fork that it was definitely cooked properly. Now we just have to see how it tastes. Oh wow, that's really good. Excellent Brussels sprouts at Oscar Steakhouse. Very happy with this tonight. I can already tell as I put it on my fork, but these were cooked perfectly. Brussels sprouts are notoriously not tender, and so they've achieved a perfect cook here. An absolute pleasure to eat. The bitter flavors of the sprouts have been perfectly cooked down, while you can still appreciate their natural taste. It's not off-putting in its bitterness. A very light tangy sweetness coming from a balsamic drizzle, as well as a nice saltiness coming from this pepperoni cheese. These have been perfectly seasoned. I love the texture. They taste great. A fantastic sprout recipe executed very well. Very happy with the Brussels sprouts tonight. All right, everyone, now that's all of the food that I'm trying tonight. My buddy and I are going to continue working on this box, a lot of it to go, and then we're going to do some dessert next. Don't go anywhere because sweets are coming up. And welcome back, everyone. Now my food is all boxed up and ready to go, so it's time for some sweets. Let's take a look at the dessert menu together. So here is your dessert menu at Oscar Steakhouse. Again, this metal piece in the center, leather bound, very classy, loving that. All right, so let's take a look inside. Here are your desserts on the left. Deep dish chocolate chip cookie, New York style cheesecake, chocolate cake, creme brulee, all looking really good, as well as assorted ice creams and sorbets. And then here are your after dinner drinks. You've got cocktails, dessert wines and cognacs, as well as some spirits down here. And I believe, yep, that's the dessert menu here at Oscar's. Nice looking dessert menu here at Oscar's. I'm gonna go get my order in, but for all of you at home, I'm gonna make that dessert up here right now. And here it is, everyone, our deep dish chocolate chip cookie. Served with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I love this particular dessert. Who doesn't love a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie, right? Now I must admit, I'm really, really full, but there's always just a little bit of room for some sweets, right? Let's activate the dessert stomach. Give this a try. Oh yeah, that's good. This is everything you want in a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie. I'm very happy with this choice. The cookie itself is so soft. It's piping hot, freshly baked. This is the texture you dream of when you eat a cookie. A nice buttery sweetness from this cookie, accented by the very sweet chocolate chips. They're using a milk chocolate, so it's creamy and sweet, but still a good cocoa flavor. I actually really like this cookie a lot. It's quite good. The vanilla ice cream works well on top. It's creamy, it's rich, it's sweet, melting just a little bit due to the heat of the cookie, creating just that extra vanilla layer. It works together very well. I'm a fan of the cookie dessert. How can I not be? That's a good one. All right, everyone, now that's going to do it for my dinner here at Oscar Steakhouse at the Plaza, Las Vegas. All the food you saw in the video tonight came out to $527 before tip, and my buddy and I had a really great time. I think the glazed pork belly was easily my favorite appetizer of the day, but I'll probably go back for the meatballs and the short rib ravioli also. I think the chicken was actually my favorite entree from that first round, although I would definitely get the burger again as well. But it was the prime rib that stole the show tonight. Can't really go wrong with a freshly baked cookie. That was great. And all in all, I can see why Oscar's is just held in such a high regard as one of the best steakhouses here in Las Vegas. If you're staying at the Plaza Hotel or you've been interested in Oscar's Steakhouse, I hope this video has been informative for you. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for this week's video where I continue my quest to vlog every restaurant on the Las Vegas Strip as well as downtown on Fremont Street. Make sure you return next Saturday. I would love to have you as I continue to add to my collection. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic week, and I hope you enjoy Vegas with me, Shin. Bye.